Larkspur. I do have concerns about the EPA and their overreaching federal regulations. That was one of the issues that was mentioned with the Republican platform, that they wish that they could limit EPA regulations. And it was mentioned that funding was already taken for this to have occurred. What federal funding might that have been? Can anybody speak to that? When did it occur?
I don't know what you said. Did I misunderstand what you said?
Must have. We weren't talking about funding.
How did this get implemented? Doesn't it usually get implemented with funding?
My understanding is that when federal agencies wish to work with states to accomplish some purpose, they contact the states. There probably is some kind of communication. The feds may be the ones that are funding. I don't really know that for a fact, but it comes down as a federal mandate, and then it probably evolves over time in accordance with how the needs change over time.
It's like all other federal mandates are unfunded. They just implement it to take care of it. I'd be surprised if any funding comes with it. We're just obeying the rules. They set all the rules. We don't like them any better than you do.
Seems to me like your position is to protect the citizens of Natrona County as addressed in Article 1. Yes, the states have sovereignty. Pardon
Tell
me?
me how we're supposed to do that. You ran for county commissioner. If you were sitting on this side of the desk, you tell me that you're going to tell the federal government, the DEQ, that you're not going to, the EPA, that you're not going to obey these stormwater regulations. They'll come in here and they'll shut you down.
My understanding of the way our system of government works is we have 3 branches of government, and the federal, the administrative branch of government does not have power over the other 2 branches of government. And I don't understand how county got under the administrative branch of
The
government.
DEQ or the EPA was granted those powers, however they got them, through legal means, through Congress or whatever. They've got them. I wish they didn't have them, but they got them. It's a fact of life. I don't know how to argue with you. I don't like them. But if you start pumping pollutants into the North Platte River, I guarantee you they come down and shut you down in a minute.
Well, I don't mind them regulating pollutants, but I read in here somewhere where I can't find it at my fingertips. I'll find it and bring it up to you. But it looked like they can incorporate county areas. It says you have to see the map to see their agenda.
They can.
What do you mean they can? What's your vote for?
Yes, I'm trying to be as reasonable as I can.
Oh, I'm trying to be reasonable also.
What?
I also am trying to be reasonable. I'm asking a question.
You're, I don't know how to tell you this, but never mind. Please
Mr.
continue.
Chairman, we're not going to solve this
We're
tonight.
not going to solve this. I don't know how Natrona County could possibly block the EPA. They want to send down some stuff that we have to do. We basically follow the rules as we're told to do so. Now, we can say, no, we don't want to follow them. I don't know what they would do.
Don't take the grant money.
Go ahead.
The question I asked about the conservation district is that they've done a lot of studies out here, and it's not stormwater, it's irrigation water, but it's basically close to the same thing. The EPA is going to regulate any kind of water that comes off of a city that goes into a river, and the same way that they regulate irrigation systems. And it's the waters of the United States of America, and it's not going to get any better. that's the regulations that is choking a lot of small communities.
Well, isn't that your job, is my point? You're to protect the citizens.
Tell us how. Tell us how.
That's what I'm asking.
Tell me how. I'd like to know how.
What is the motion that's brought before this? Is it to bring just more access from from Cheyenne to Natrona County? And if that's so, you could vote no. I'm trying to understand, to protect the citizens. Water rights are extremely important.
Yes, they are.
And I'm just,
Well, the commissioners
I'm
have all
asking
have an
for
option
caution.
tonight to vote yes or no. So, do you have anything else to add?
well, would you address my issue if I can find that?
Please, tell us what it is. We'll try to ask. What is the question?
Well, it said, when I was reading earlier, that you can look at the map and see if they have a proposal to cause areas to be incorporated where they're currently not incorporated. I'll have to find it again, I'm sorry. I
Okay.
can't put my finger on it right now.
You want to send me an email? I'll try to get an answer. No problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I guess I've got a question for Gene.
You can go up.
Basically, if somebody comes in and wants to have a building permit or something like that, then you would go through this document, right?
Yes.
How are you?
Yes, it
How they would solve it.
probably would really take, would be controlling on managing construction projects.
Speak in the mic, please. So everybody can.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I got too far away from that. On a construction project, you're liable to need to put up silt fences. You may have, that regulation is full of what are called BMPs, best management practices. And it has to do, in some cases, with if there is a need for some special kind of landscaping to control the water runoff. That is something that we will monitor. And I'm thinking that, if we find a construction site that is not implementing those kind of methods to reasonably divert sediment, silt, or any other kind of trash into the North Platte River, we will put a stop to it, and it may involve rescinding the building permit, or looking at applicable licenses or whatever. Those are things that I think probably the vast majority of contractors in the county understand that, and they just routinely implement those kinds of measures anyway. So we don't think there's any real problem with these regulations working.
So in other words, if on a construction project, that project has to protect themselves from their neighbors, or it protects the neighbors.
Yes,
This-
it's protecting the neighbors
Yeah.
by,
Attention
because typically, you've got phases in any construction project, and you've got to do some dirt work first. And that's where, having some erosion control and controlling the silt buildup and so forth, so that it doesn't run down on somebody else's property and affect them.
Or go to the river.
That's what these regulations
Go
are.
to the river. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Overarching thing.
Keeping it out of the river.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
I have one thing.
Go ahead.
Gene, for just curiosity, for years, we operated under the past regulations. What all suddenly brought this forth to update this?
Really?
Was it a mandate by, did you get a letter from the?
We actually have an annual meeting with representatives from